Did you ever wonder how this little stellar production gets put together? Let's take a look. Hey everybody, I just thought it would be really fun to make a quick little video to show you guys how the videos for this channel kind of get thrown together and constructed and put into a cohesive thing. So I put them out there so everybody can watch them and we can have fun talking with each other about the movies and all this other kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to leave this up permanently because it's not really like a normal thing for the channel, but as just a little side note, I thought it would be something to do, give you guys a chance to see behind the scenes of what takes place and how this all comes together. Now the first thing I did was I wanted to come to a look and a style for the show that I thought would be kind of interesting. And the interesting thing I thought was to make it look like all the stuff that I and probably a lot of you love too. Those down and dirty either grindhouse or horror movies that have tons of grain and film and the colors washed out and you know everything's just a little bit off and whatever. That's what I wanted the channel to look like, and that's what I've tried to achieve with it as much as I can. We'll go more into that later, but that was the initial thought, and that's the way I've always kind of tried to make it to be. Then came the question, where am I going to do this? So I said, well, I don't want to be sitting on my couch when I do it, and I don't want to be, you know, just driving in a car when I do it or something like that. I said, what can I do? And being that I have a little recording studio in my home, because I'm a band guy, I said, well, I'll just do it there. It'll be interesting. In the beginning, I used to kind of film it from angles where you couldn't really tell what kind of a room I was in. And then I said to myself, I said, oh, shit, dude, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? Who cares? So for the last 60 or 70 videos, you always kind of see me at this angle with the desk with the computer and the monitors on it, all that kind of crap sitting behind me. And it is what it is. And one of the fun little tidbits about the studio that I record this in is that it's named after Spivey Point. It's called Spivey Point Studios. We recorded a few CDs in here, I think 4 actually. And you know, in today's day and age, you don't need much to make a professional level recording. I mean, we've recorded stuff that's been played on the local radio around here and sounded just as normal as anything else. And by the way, hearing yourself on the radio is like a dream come true. It's fucking great. Well, whatever. Anyway, I digress. But my son did the cutest thing. When this is our recording studio, he had a mouse pad made for me because he knows I like mouse pads because I'm old. And it says Spivey Point Studios, which has the lighthouse on it from the FOD. How appropriate. But when I'm in here working on this stuff, he made me another mouse that says the glory days of cathode rays. So it's my dual function workroom. Okay, then it came to what kind of gear am I going to use to record this? We all know any cell phone today can do 1080p video and it'll just look beautiful and all that kind of stuff. And again, that's exactly what I didn't want to have happen on this. So I went hunting around and looking around my house and I'm digging into old stuff and I found an old camcorder that is at least 10, 12, I don't know how many years old, beaten up and smashed around. And I said, let me try this. And it worked. Now, obviously, I'm filming with that right now, but I bought a second one that is identical. It's the same model, same everything. It's the same camera. And that is just a little Samsung SCMX20. It's this. Just this little flippy whatever. You throw your hard drive card in there, you throw it on a stand, and there you go. That's all that this show has ever filmed with, is just this little camcorder. That's it. It works great. And the thing about this camera that I love is it has 2 things. One is good, one is bad, but they both work for me. One, it has incredible audio. Yeah, I could have used other stuff for putting the show together. You know, it's a recording studio. I could have just, you know, went through condenser mics and pop filters and all this other kind of crap. But it wasn't really what I wanted to do. It wasn't really the way I wanted to do it. So audio is important though on YouTube. You know, if your video looks like shit, people will deal with it if it sounds good. They won't if it's the other way around. This camera takes great audio for a camcorder. It just does. So I said, great, I'm going to use that. The second thing is this camera has a flaw, a factory mess up. It's only standard definition. You can record in standard screen or widescreen. If you notice in front of you, everything right now looks standard. It's like more of a square box. But I film everything in widescreen on this, so you get more of the room and you just don't have my face in a standard thing, which is annoying to say the least. So the flaw of this camera is when you export video, it will only export widescreen video still in standard. So it takes everything and it squishes you into a little square box. Now I could fix that easily in post. I could fix it like that. And there I am. And that's the way I really look. And if it was normally exported correctly, this is how you would see me. A little wider, a little bigger. It is what it is. But I left it the way it was because I said, wait a minute, I get more of the room. I just look at the black bars on the side. I thought, yes, it distorts me. It crunches me in a little bit, but I don't really give a shit how I look on film or anything, so I'm not that vain. So I just left it the kind of way it is, and that became one of the looks for the channel. Oh, man. Back to looking how you're used to seeing me. Then came the point of, well, what am I going to do this on? I mean, I got my music computer behind me and everything like that, but I didn't want to go in there and dive in there with all the files and go screwing around with stuff. I like to keep that just for what it is. So I came up with one of the old standbys. I had a beaten up, beaten down, brutalized laptop that I've had floating around forever. And this whole show is put together, constructed, slammed into a unit on this ancient Dell laptop that I've had for a while, that the space bar barely works on. It's smashed around. I mean, the frame on it, I don't even know if you can see that, is cracked all the way around. I mean, this poor thing has been through the wars. But it still works. Good job, Dell. And I use that for putting the TV show together. And another interesting little integral parts to this whole thing is my little flash drive collection. Yes, on that there is commercials, trailers. There is the photographs that I load up. There's everything on these. So if it's a busy week, when it used to be more busy when bands were playing, and I had to sit there and do this, some of it on this laptop, some when I would take lunch breaks at work, I could go in there for a half hour or something like that and work. Everything would transport around on one of these things. So I had everything I need in multiple locations, and I could get the job done so I could still keep up with the workload of, you know, at least one video a week, preferably two. And also when it came to the look of everything, I have numerous of these like lights, like LED lights, and they're powered by batteries and all that. I used to, you know, kind of throw them all around and get this big bright look and everything like that. But in the end, I just went with a lamp behind me, a lamp in front of me. Both the same lamps. One is red, one is brighter white. And that's how I do everything there. And that's literally as down and dirty and cheap as it is. Just a lamp in front, a lamp in back, and hit the play button, and there we go. Okay, now, keeping with the cheap, low-budget version of doing this, all the software I use is free stuff too. The first thing I do is to use and to make the headers and all that kind of crap. You see, I use this thing called paint.net. It's out there, it's online for free. You can make a donation to these guys for creating it. It's a great little service. I mean, you can do almost anything that you can do in most big Photoshop programs with in this little free program. And that's what I use. I use it for everything, all the time, for band flyers, for band everything, for anything on this show. It all goes through there, and it's a great little program. Now, also, after I get done filming the video, where I get up here and I ramble for a while, the easiest and fastest thing for me to use is Windows Movie Maker in the first step. I'll get to that in a moment. We all know Windows Movie Maker is very limited, but it works very, very quickly if you are just cutting stuff out and shrinking things down and putting a couple little interim spots in there, like I have the little sign that says director and, you know, cast and story. It works great for that, and it's really, really quick. So I use the basic Windows Movie Maker to lay everything out, put everything together, and get my first version of how I want the video to look. When I get done with that, and I have made my 15-minute video and all that kind of stuff, then I take it and I drop that video into another free software called OpenShot. Now, OpenShot lets me layer things in there. I can layer in sound, I can layer in all the photographs one after the other, and I can build everything up and make the production that you wind up seeing in the end. So, Windows Movie Maker first run through, OpenShot is a second run through of the video, but then putting all the photographs in and the banner in the corner and all that kind of shit. That's where I use all that. And the last thing I'll talk about is, like, you know, how much time it takes to throw this project together. Obviously, you watch a movie, you know, that's the first step. No matter how many times I've seen these flicks, I'll always go back and watch them again right before I sit here and create a video, literally because I want everything fresh in my mind. I can have the newest opinion, I can have it all really like kind of locked in there, and I'll be ready to go as soon as I sit in this chair. After I watch the movie, the second thing takes place. That's where I break out all those little flash drives and I just start going out and I make the headers and I download all the photographs and I download the photographs of the actors and I go out and I hunt down all the scenes in the motion picture and I sit there and I make little clips of them and I put the whole thing together, and that's usually about another hour. I've got that neck down so I can get that done in about an hour. Just go out there, grab all the photographs, get the headers made, kind of get rolling. After that, I come up here and I'll make the video. Now the video, obviously, you see them are like 15 minutes long. In reality, I'm probably up here closer to 20, 25 minutes. I have a tendency to ramble. Tendency. And sometimes I'll say a bunch more shit and I'll double talk it and I'll repeat something I've kind of alluded to earlier. And I think that anything that goes that long is just really redundant and stupid. So what I wind up doing is I'll cut it down and condense it till it makes it to about 15 minutes or thereabouts. I think that's like the maximum that anything should really be. After that, it gets a little bit repulsive. After that is the first run through. Like I said, when I go down and I cut everything up in Movie Maker, that's probably about maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how much rambling I did and how much I don't like and how much I want to condense down and everything like that. So you throw in about another hour there for Movie Maker. Then after that, when I use that OpenShot software and I dump it into there and I put all the photographs in, that's probably the most time consuming. I like to keep the photographs at a decent cadence. I just don't like to just heave them in there, even though sometimes it looks like that. And I put them in there and I'll layer everything out, and that probably takes another hour or hour and a half, somewhere in that ballpark. And then on that old laptop, just to generate the video after that, is probably like about another 30, 35 minutes of processing for a 15-minute video. So, oh, and one other thing too I also do is everything is recorded at 30 frames a second on my camera. I take it on the video and I specifically set it at 24 frames when I'm using OpenShot, just so that the look of it, every now and so often there'll be a little bit of a stutter, or there'll be a half a second or two where the audio and the video look like they're in time but maybe wandering out, and then they pull back in, wandering out, just like they used to do in the old movies. So it's kind of intentional that I screw with it and slow it down every now and so often, so that it'll pull me a little left, not enough where it's going to distract you, but I notice it's there, and I'm weird, who the hell knows. Anyway, folks, that's about it. I try to show you everything that I make all the videos with, and go through the steps to them, and every video takes about 5 to 6 hours total to make one from beginning to the very end, and upload it onto YouTube, and to put everything in the description field and all that kind of stuff. It's about 5-6 hours, commitment for each one. I try to do 2 a week, but sometimes things can get crazy, and I'm running around trying to balance them out with work life and normal life, and if the band is working a lot, which right now we're not, but then it really becomes a little bit more of a complicated thing. Anyway, that's about it from top to bottom, stem to stern, and I just thought I'll give you guys a show of what goes on behind the scenes. Thanks for watching the channel as always. You guys don't know how much I enjoy doing this and how much I really enjoy talking to everybody. I try to always answer everybody who ever leaves a comment, and if I miss one, it's only because for some reason I didn't see it, or something happened. But I try to answer everybody, and I enjoy all the questions and the conversations and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a really cool thing. So if ever I miss one of your comments, it's by accident, completely not intentionally. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Sorry if this rambled longer than it should have. Kind of being a little bit, too explanatory. And I will see you all soon again with a normal video. Take care, God bless, and above all, as always, never take any bullshit from anybody. See you soon.